Love and light, guys. I am Love Yosh. If you have not already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, share this video with someone, leave a comment, a like, a dislike, either or. I want your feedback. I'm so excited to be started on this YouTube journey, so definitely see the description box below. Connect with me on Twitter, Instagram at I am Love Yosh. On this channel, we do discuss spirituality, beauty, and just vlogs. More vlogs will be forthcoming too, going through my day-to-day life with you guys. But the topic for this video is discussing losing my mom, and how that journey was for me, how I got through it, and how I'm still getting through it. Many may not know, but September 18th of 2008, I lost my mom to breast cancer. And that was one of the most unimaginable, most trying, most devastating points in my life. And it changed things in my life drastically. And I want to talk about my experience, and I want to talk about how I'm getting to a point of healing. I never would have thought I would be talking about this, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. You know, I was 13 when my mom passed, so my mom really was my world. She was my best friend, my confidant. In a lot of ways, she couldn't do no wrong in my eyes. Of course, you know, mothers and daughters, they have their little, you know, toe-to-toe issues. But at the end of the day, I loved my mom. I learned a lot from my mom. And I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. I'm thankful for the time that I got to be with her, because she poured so much of herself into me, and I gained so much wisdom in so little time, that I was able to soak a lot of things in from her, and a lot of things I may have lost its way with, but as an adult, I'm still reminded by her words. And I always know how to get back on track when need be. I don't even know where to start with this, because it's something that's so devastating, but it's something that I want to let people know that you can get through. But at first, it's going to sting. And mine was different for me because, you know, I was a kid, I was a teenager. So it was just a lot for me to digest, to not have my Wonder Woman around, not to have my Superwoman around. It almost broke me. It almost broke me to not have her there. I mean, I was raised in a two-parent household, so it wasn't like I didn't have my dad, or, you know, but it just really affected me in so many ways, things that you have to learn as far as, you know, coming into womanhood. And there was so much that was left undone due to her departure. But I also found peace in knowing that her spirit was forever with me. And when I tell you her spirit has not left my side, it has kept me going, knowing that she is still here with me, and guiding me on this plane and helping me, and that keeps me. And I'm hoping that that keeps you if you've recently lost a loved one. Like, it's not easy. You know, a lot of people can talk about it until, you know, it's something that happens to them. And you won't know the pain or know how the pain feels until you actually go through it. You know, it's one of those things that you just never want to go through. You know, it's transformed me. But what I've been determined is to not use my mom's death as a crutch, or not use it as an excuse as to why. You know, cancer is one of those diseases that you just don't ever want to see anyone go through. Like, I went from seeing my superwoman, you know, deteriorate in front of my eyes. Someone that was, you know, always energetic, always in shape, full of energy, full of life, full of laughs. And to watch her go through that, she was so strong. She was so courageous. She never accepted defeat. She never quit or gave up. She fought to the end. And just seeing her go through that all the way to the end, it crushed me, but it motivated me. It motivated me because she was just relentless in pushing through to the very end. But I also know that she was suffering, and I also didn't want her to suffer any longer, because, you know, we can want to keep people here a lot of times for our selfish reasons, and not realizing that, you know, they need to be free, and she didn't need to suffer any longer. And knowing that the spirit is eternal, that's really what keeps me, knowing that every step of the way she's here with me. You know, she is here with me, pushing me, encouraging me, motivating me. Her spirit is still here. But, you know, as a kid or even as an adult, you know, losing someone is never going to be something that you can prepare for. It's never going to be, because you think it may be a certain way if you lose, you know, a parent or a close family member. But when it hits, and it's a feeling like no other. It's unexplainable. It's like someone takes your heart out of your chest. Like, I remember being in the hospital with my mother, and she was in hospice, and I remember she was kind of, because her last stages, my mom was, she was coherent, but she was not. So it's kind of hard to explain. It was like pre-coma, if you will. That's probably not the correct term, but I remember going in the other room. You know, I had just kissed her on her forehead, and I remember going in the other room. I just left her just for like a minute or two, and I knew she was dead before even leaving the other room. I only left her for like a minute or two, because I felt something leave my spirit. I can't explain it, but there's such a divine connection between a parent and a child, or the mother and the child. I felt something leave my spirit, and something let me know that she was gone. And when I came back, she was indeed gone. And I remember that moment like it was yesterday, because it was such an intense, I mean, I really can't explain it, but something left my soul when she left. And I spent so much time trying to replenish that, to replace that, to fill that void, to figure it out, that empty piece that was missing. I spent a lot of time trying to fill that. I went into a very deep depression. I went into very deep anxiety. It was very rough and tough on me emotionally. But as I say, time heals all wounds. And I won't say that I'm fully healed, but I think as time went on and as life went on, it started to get better. And then also, as I probably mentioned a couple of times already, you know, knowing that her spirit lived on, knowing that she was here with me, that she was watching over me, that she was one of my ancestors now to help guide me through, that kept me going. And it would be certain things or decisions that I would make, and I would hear her voice on what it was to do. So that you know, my peace rested in that. My peace rested in that. And I just want to let anybody know, I'm sharing this with you guys because I want to let anybody know that is going through a loss, that went through a loss, and you may feel like, you know, you can't get through it, or it's unbearable, but that person will want you to live on. They wouldn't want you to stop your life because they're no longer here on this plane. They will want you to fulfill your destiny as you will, because one day you will leave this plane, and you want to leave your footprints the way that you're supposed to. You want to leave with people remembering the positive things that you've done, the assets that you brought to the universe, the service that you brought to other people. You want to be remembered that way. So, you know, our time, the Drake song, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. You know, I probably didn't sing that right, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's so real. We're here to enjoy our experience. We are here to fulfill our purpose. We are here to enlighten others. We are here to become our best versions, but we're not here forever. And once our purpose is fulfilled, we move on, but our soul forever lives. And so now understanding that as an adult, it can become an easier pill to swallow, knowing that I too have a purpose that I have to fulfill, to enlighten other people, to inspire other people, to fulfill whatever my purpose is here on the universe. And then after my purpose is fulfilled, it's time for me to leave this plane. And that's not a negative thing. You know, we have such a negative connotation in the Western world when it comes to death, because physically we're not able to be around the person. Physically we're not able to, you know, talk and interact with the person, not realizing that the spirit is eternal. So that this was just, you know, all your body is the vessel. It's the temple that's housing your soul. So this isn't me. This isn't you. This is just the temple as to which is designed to hold your spirit. So when you really understand that you are the person that's within, like you're the spirit, like that's really who you are, you won't become as attached with this avatar and upset and hurt when it comes to losing a loved one. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to miss them, and I'm not saying that you won't grieve or, you know, go through these withdrawals, because that is normal. But when we try to think about things on a higher plane, we realize they never left. It's just they're not here, but spiritually they will always be. And that is what has helped me change my perspective of death. And I'm not saying that to say that it won't be, you know, moments where I won't cry or something will remind me of my mom, and I wish I could have that physical interaction with her. But what motivates me is that I know what she sacrificed, I know how she loved me, and I know that if I was to give up right now, if I was to quit right now, all of that would be in vain. And that pushes me, and that motivates me. I believe my mom loved me so much that she brought people into my life to help me get to my journey. You know, my parents, you know, my stepmom, my dad, whomever, I believe she brought different people or left me with different people to help and guide me through my journey, to see different things. I'm thankful because my mom taught me to think for myself. I'm thankful because she taught me how to love myself. She taught me values that are things that she lived by what it is she talked about. In front of me, she lived it. And I can't say that there was ever a moment that I can recall where she contradicted what she said that she lived. I'm thankful to have experienced her energy, to have been her daughter, to have been in her presence. And I think that's what people have to do. They have to thank their ancestor, the person that they lost, their loved one that's no longer physically there with them. They have to thank them for the time and the opportunity that you did have with them. You know, I can't imagine how some people feel that they never even got a chance to meet their parent or their loved one that they lost, and they found out that they were dead. At least I got the opportunity to interact with the soul that has something to do with me being here, the woman that birthed me. So I'm forever grateful. I'm forever eternally grateful for the time that I had with my mom, for the investments that she made into me. And I know by and by that will make me a better woman. And that's what I want. You know, anyone who's lost a loved one, especially to cancer, I want you, and it can be hard, but I want you to focus on the positive and not the negative. I want you to hold dear those positive memories and the positive energy that you interacted with them. Don't think about the bad times. Don't think about what you may not have gotten to say. Don't think about any regrets, but embrace those good times. Embrace those moments that you had to interact with that person and hold them near, and take that as a lesson to every day appreciate your life, and don't take your life for granted, and don't take your experience for granted, and don't take any day that you have for granted, because all that matters is right now. You understand? All that matters is right now, and you need to make the most of right now. Find your healing from losing a loved one. You have to take the time, especially when it's that close to you. You have to take the time to redefine who you are and not go wandering without thinking into things that aren't a part of who you are or that resonate with you. Or don't retreat to a negative mindset or a negative being because you lost someone. Don't let that change your spirit. You know, I'm always been a happy, bubbly person. Always have been. But sometimes when things like that happen, it can try to break your spirit. It can try to, demonize your character, dim your light. Your energy can be low. It can cause you to vibrate at a very low frequency. And I think the most things that you need to focus on when it comes to the healing process is making sure that you aren't dwelling in a negative space around negative people with a negative mind and negative energy. You have to protect your energy because you're already, again, you're gonna grieve, you're gonna cry, you're gonna have your moments where you feel broken. And there's gonna be times when things don't make sense. It could be times when you're angry. It's a process. And don't beat yourself up for having those moments. All I'm saying is don't stay there, because before you know it, years will have gone by and there's this thing that you're holding on to, and it's baggage. And we have to release those things because it doesn't do us any good to continue to hold on to those things. I had to release the hurt and the pain and the void of not having my mom there. I had to stop using that as an excuse. I had to make sure that that wasn't my story. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't just want to be, or I never want to just be the girl that lost her mother at 13. I didn't want that to be my story. I didn't want that just to be my end all be. That's something that occurred in my life that affected me drastically, but that's not all I will ever be. I never wanted to be a victim. And again, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging what you've been through. There's nothing wrong with grieving over what you've been through. There's nothing wrong with having any of those emotions, but you cannot stay there because life is constantly changing. Things are constantly changing. People are constantly changing. Life does not stop no matter who or what is going on, or who or what is not here. And it is important that whomever you lost, you take their spirit with you. You appreciate those times. You take their spirit with you. You take their wisdom with you. You hold them near and dear because they never really went anywhere. They're just not physically with you. So you hold on to that. But you keep moving and you keep striving for yourself, because at the end of the day, we are all on a mission. So I would definitely say, take the time to grieve. Don't make any fast judgments or major moves without using your wisdom. Don't act out of emotion when making major decisions pertaining to your life. Bring your head with you. Bring your logic with you. Don't use your loved one's death as an excuse to self-destruct. Don't do that. Because at the end of the day, that's not it. Everything is for purpose. And I understand and understand why this happened to me, how this affected me, and also how this shaped me. So look at everything for what it is when it comes to that healing process. But take some time for you. Take your time to fully, accept it. But change your perspective on how you look at it. And as time progresses, you will get through it. As time progresses, it will get better. And you'll remember those positive times. And sometimes it's going to make you smile. Sometimes it's going to make you laugh. Sometimes it's going to make you cry. Sometimes it may make you angry. But you keep pushing through. Whomever this is for, because this was on my heart to do. Whomever this is for, if you've lost a loved one, baby, I need you to keep pushing. I need you to keep fighting. I need you to understand that's what they would want you to do. They would not want you to give up. They would not want you to self-destruct. They would not want you to put your life on pause because their soul is no longer here. You're here for a reason. You're here because you still have a purpose to fulfill. And it is up to you to fulfill that purpose. So you have to push through the pain. You have to be honest with yourself about that pain. You can't lie to yourself. That's another thing. Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't act like it doesn't bother you. Don't have a nonchalant attitude with it. You have to deal with that hurt. Don't mask it up, because the more that you mask it up, the more you try to act like you're okay, the more you try to hide and sugarcoat your feelings, something is going to erupt that volcano. And it's going to come pouring out everywhere. And it's going to be uncontrollable because you've had it bottled up for so long. I need you to release it. I need you to be honest with yourself and accept it. Accept what happened. Go through what happened. Allow yourself to digest what happened. Having emotions does not make you weak. It makes you human. So express those emotions. Do not suppress your emotions. Release those emotions. Use your mind. Use wisdom and move forward. There's nothing that you are going through that you can't get through. There's nothing that you'll be faced with that you can't conquer. It's happening in your life for a reason. And as I say a lot of times in my podcast, Love YOSH Speaks, if you've been brought to it, you can get through it. Push through. You can do this. There's been plenty of people. I've talked to people that have lost both of their parents. I've talked to people that had never even knew their parents. You understand what I'm saying? I still have a father living. I still have a stepmom. I still have family. So I have to count my blessings. So don't look at it for the negative, look at it for the good. Because even the bad that we consider bad is also for your good. So change your perspective about it. I know it hurts. I have moments, again, my mom's death anniversary is forthcoming next month, which is, it's about to be the 31st. So in a couple of days, 18th, we'll be in September, so September 18th. And it'll be 11 years since I lost the love of my life. And that's what I consider her to be, because I loved her so much. I love my mom so much. But what I can say is I'm more whole than I've ever been in my life. I'm more wise than I've ever been in my life. I'm more strong than I've ever been in my life. I've experienced so many things since my mom passed, even before when she was here, to this point, and I've grown, and I'm proud proud of myself. It's time for you to be proud of yourself or where you are right now. It's time for you to count your accomplishments since then. You may not be where you want to be, but as long as you are pushing and you are striving and you are keeping your goal in mind, your vision in mind, you're going to get there because you're not staying stagnant. You're rolling with the punches. And keep rolling with them. I'm proud of y'all. Anybody, if you've lost a loved one, comment below. I want to hear about your experience. I want us to be able to relate. Let me know if this video resonated with you. Again, all I want is for the people that are going through, for the people that are healing, for the people that are finding themselves. I want them to find this channel, and I want them to find their healing. I want to help you on your process to healing. I want to help you on your process to self-love. I want to help you on your journey. We are all on this journey of life, trying to figure different things out, and we can learn a thing or two from one another. So always have your ear open to listen. I'll never get to no point where I can't learn nothing from nobody. I'm just so thankful, y'all. I'm beyond thankful for this experience. Again, share this video with someone, comment below, make sure you subscribe. Again, I am Love Yosh. Peace.